Hey you guys, it's Christina, and I'm so happy to be here with you today because I really wanted to share with you a really beautiful and inspirational short story. Sometimes you get those little nuggets of gold in your day that just shift everything. They shift the energy, they bring a little bit of positivity and hope into your day. I'm excited to share this tiny story with you guys because I truly believe that any given moment, any given experience can be seen in so many different ways, and maybe perhaps it can help a lot of people. My mom and I were walking in my neighborhood yesterday in this exact spot, and I remember we were talking about how so much has just been very intense in the world lately. There's just been a lot of negative energy and very overwhelming things happening between terrorist attacks or shootings or people getting sick and so much death and so much sadness. It's been overwhelming, and I don't know if it's been this way for you, but it's been this way for my family and for so many of my friends. And keeping positive in a time like this can be somewhat difficult. And I know for me and my family, we pray a lot, and we look for signs of hope, and we stick together. And my mom and I were walking here yesterday, and we were just talking to each other about how important it is to love one another, because our time on this earth is so short, and you never know when you could be gone. You never know when someone you love could be gone. And so how sometimes it doesn't matter what those little petty things are. Telling somebody you love them and understanding what's important to move through a difficult situation is really the most important thing. I really believe that because our time on this earth is so short, we should focus on the things that bring us joy and peace. And even when it's difficult to move through frustration or anger, we should find the love inside so that we can begin to heal and we can help others feel good as well. And as me and my mom were talking about this and we're walking, my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, look at that giant bird." And we looked up, and it was a hawk on a tree. And I thought I'd seen a hawk earlier in the week. And I remember I texted a picture of it to my friends. I was like, "I saw a hawk, I saw a hawk." But my mother saw this one, and we looked at it together, and I immediately whipped out my phone and I Google searched, what does it mean when you see a hawk? What is the sign that you see? And I'll show it right here on the screen, but it was basically a divine sign that it's important to take a leadership role and to move on into the next greatest step of your life. My mom and I were so excited that we saw this hawk, and we just were like, wow, we're so inspired by this sign. What could this mean? We turned the corner, literally one of the corners of my neighborhood, and I see one of my neighbors, and he's walking two dogs. And if you know me well, you know I love dogs, so at any given moment I'll probably run up to a dog on the street. And I started talking to his dogs and hugging them and petting them, and he looks at me and he says, "I know you." He goes, "I didn't know you lived in my neighborhood, but I know you." He's like, "I actually watched your video of you in Bali." He goes, "I want to tell you, it helped me a lot. It got me through a really difficult time." I wasn't exactly sure which video he was talking about, but I had a feeling it was the one of me closing down my co-op, the one where I opened up and I was really vulnerable and I was crying and I was just sharing my experience of shame and humiliation and how sad I was that I felt like I had lost something that was so important to me, and that I felt that I had no control over this entire situation. And he didn't say much more. I kept talking with him and petting his dogs, and my mom and I just, were asking him, "Oh, which house is yours? What about this?" And he looked at me and he said, "This has been a rough year for me." And he said, "Last year I lost my wife, and shortly after my son committed suicide." And I just looked at him, and he said, "And now I'm battling health issues of my own, and it's just been such a hard time." And I just lost it. I just started sobbing my eyes out in front of this man, and I didn't even apologize for it. I was like, "I don't know why I'm having this reaction, but I'm sorry if this is too much for you." And he said, "No, actually, it's refreshing." He goes, to see that someone cares. And I said, I don't know why, but I just very much feel your pain right now. And I just let myself cry in front of him. And I said, you know, at any given moment that you want someone to walk around the neighborhood with or need help walking your dogs, I'm here for you. My mom and I spoke with him for a little bit longer, and we gave him a hug. And he said that us walking up to him and talking to him made his day. My mom and I walked away and we both just started crying our eyes out, because so much had just happened in that tiny moment, where it was like, here we are talking about how we need to love one another and be there for one another, and how these petty things don't matter, and that what matters is loving each other through difficult moments, and having that human connection that we all desire so much. And then all of a sudden seeing a hawk, seeing these dogs, and then meeting a beautiful new neighbor that I didn't even know that I had. And the fact that he said that he saw one of my videos and he knew who I was, and that my video helped him get through a difficult year, only to find out that that year was him losing his wife and his son committing suicide shortly after, was just wow. So I got home with my mom and I thought for about an hour about what could all of that have meant. So much happened in like a short bleep of time, yet it was so powerful and so meaningful. And what I walked away with was love one another. And of course, so many of us are gonna see so many beautiful things that came out of this magical little happening. But it's moments like this that truly make me understand that the universe conspires for us in moments like this, to bring us together, to have connection, for us to understand that everything happens for a reason. Whatever you are going through right now that may be a difficult time, understanding that it's happening for you and not to you. And how beautiful is that? It totally shifts your mindset, and this space and this energy of trusting that good things come out of situations like this. And maybe perhaps you see something totally different that I missed in this situation, and something beautiful as well. And if you do, please share it in the comments below, because I'm so interested to know what you see and what you felt from this experience, because I'm still so I still feel so many beautiful things from it. And since then I've bumped into him again walking around our neighborhood, and he was kind of shy to see me, but happy as well. And you know, I got his number and I offered, you know, again to go for a walk with him whenever he's ready, and he appreciated it so much. And the message that I keep coming back to is just love one another. Love everybody around you. Love one another, love yourself. Trust that everything is happening in good favor for you and not to you. And I wanted to just share that story with you because I feel like there's so many beautiful things, right? To take leadership and positivity in your life, that good things are coming and that powerful shifts are happening, that we're here to love one another, here to be there for each other. And I was so inspired by this story. I just thought maybe this little nugget of inspiration, maybe this little story would be nice for you to hear. And I just thought it was so special and magical not in the sense that it was something grandiose or like a big event that happened, but sometimes those magical little things in your day can be the smallest little things, and they bring about a sense of appreciation and gratitude that I find to be so important. Do something kind for yourself today. Call somebody and tell them that you love them. Love somebody. There's so much that can be taken away from this story. I hope you guys have loved this video. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want me to make more short inspirational videos like this, sharing stories in my life, be sure to let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and I thank you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next video.